and welcome back to another exciting video here at Blue Glow Electronics. Today on the bench we got a customer's amplifier, and trying to, while I'm off on vacation this week, try to get a few customers' things out of the way. This is an Antique Sound Lab AQ10 1003 DT. It's an EL84 amplifier. Got 4 of them in it. Looks like it's got 4 tubes here on the front end, and I haven't even looked at what they are yet. Looks like some 6189s. Wow, not the greatest schematic on this earth either. We've actually found a schematic for this thing. The guy that brought me the amp brought me the schematic, and I have to look up what all these tubes are because some of them are not labeled at all, but we'll figure that out as we go. Either 12AUs or 12AX, something along that lines. But this is a I hate to say it, but it's a kind of a foreign-made amplifier. I'm not sure exactly how well made or whatnot this thing is. We're going to get into it and see. I can tell it's got these huge, what look like potted transformers. My guess is because these, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but kind of when I tap on them, they're hollow, so they're not potted transformers. What they've got underneath here are just some regular transformers, and these are covers to make it look like big potted transformers. So let's flip it over and take a look underneath and see what's wrong. Okay, we've got it flipped on its back. It's got an AC, just an AC cord. I really like the fact that it's got that. It's got a nice fuse. You've got your common 4 and 8 ohm connections here on both sides. Interesting, you got a woofer out, an auxiliary, a tuner, and a CD. And just to note, this thing's been hit on the back before because it's got some stress marks right there in the chrome and bent in a little bit. Similarly underneath, you can see here, see how it's kind of, the mirror's concave there. This thing's been hit on the back a little bit, and then it's got a whole pile of screws on this chrome bottom here. Okay, now I got the screws out of the bottom. I always use one of these little metal, got a magnet underneath of it, little metal screw holders. Man, they're nice because you drop your screw in there and that thing's, they're not going anywhere. And you can see I got a couple different amps going at one time, and keep a couple different sets of screws so keep them separated. But one thing that's got me a little scared already is the screws don't all match, which tells me that somebody's been inside this amplifier before. That's not always a bad thing. It just means it's been worked on at some point. Okay, I'm kind of at a loss for words here, and it's not often I'm at a loss for words. This thing is unbelievable. So what you kind of got here is you got a little power supply board here, and now it actually looks pretty intact. And then you kind of got the 2 halves of the circuit. If you can see, there's a circuit board that comes right here. It kind of cuts at a diagonal, comes over, comes back down, and comes here. And then there's an identical board here. It kind of comes up, cuts at a diagonal, over, around, back over. And these 2 halves are supposed to be identical. Basically, this is the left half of the amplifier, this is the right half of the amplifier. And that's about where it ends, as far as being identical. Let me spin this thing around here and show you some of what I'm seeing. I mean, it's just unbelievable here. So, hang on one second. So let me tell you point to the things I see wrong at this point in time, and it'll take a few minutes. One, this cap here, you can see the black goop stuff oozing out of it here. Get it back here in the light a little bit more. You can see this cap is shot. Next up, this thing has 2 caps here for its audio coupling. This side has 3. Someone's tried replacing something, and these things don't even go. Next up, check this out. You've got you've got an audio coupling capacitor here. Someone's replaced it with an electrolytic capacitor on this side. It's exactly what you want to do in an audio amplifier is try coupling with an electrolytic. I'm just joking. It's the last thing you want to do. A nice resistor fried all to pieces here. But then the real fun starts. I mean, there is no comparison between these two. Like this resistor here has been added somewhere along the way. This resistor here has been added somewhere along the way. This little resistor here between this input selector and here has been added somewhere along the way. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, check this out. So there's another resistor that's been added along the way, and yet another one. That one's not from the factory. And then what we've got is burn up circuit traces underneath this thing. So someone has used wires here on this side to replace burn up circuit traces. And check this out. Coming down here, connecting to this capacitor, coming over here to this resistor, and down similarly. You can see another little resistor here. Someone's been replacing circuit board wires with circuit traces with wires here. Like I said, this side looks nothing like this side. This side's for the most part intact from the factory, from what I can see over here, other than this this Jensen audio coupling capacitor is fried. Interestingly, here we got a nice wire on this side here that just kind of comes up here and goes nowhere. It's just kind of floating and hanging. Over here on this side, just tons. Look at this, more circuit trace work being duplicated by wiring. Pretty darn hard to believe what all's actually been going on here. And guy wants a quote on this thing fixing it, and let me just tell you where my head's at. I don't think I want to repair it, and this is why. It has been modified so much. So many circuit traces burn up and replaced with wires. I'm just afraid that I'm going to spend a lot of time and a lot of money. I mean, just from what I'm seeing right now, this is hours and hours of work. This guy's probably $200, maybe $250 into this repair. And I don't know if I would feel comfortable then putting my name behind it, is the reality. That's what I'm really struggling with right now, is what I want to stand behind, even the original design here. To be honest, this is like I said, a foreign-made, likely Chinese in nature. Not that Chinese don't make some good stuff, but they also crank out a lot of low-end quality stuff that just doesn't hold up over time. And just don't know if I want to dive into it. I'm going to put just a little bit of thought into it. Let me put the camera down and poke around a little more. Alright, I've put some thought into this thing, and as much as I hate turning down money, this one to me is just not worth it. It's one, I'm not even sure if the amplifier completely working would sell for a whole lot more than what it's going to take to fix it. Two, I'm not sure that once it is fixed that it will stay fixed. There's some pretty low-end parts in this thing. The transformers themselves, I'm not seeing here what I would want to see in a quality amplifier. And then three, just this mess is going to take a good 5-6 hours of cleanup. And the fact that circuit traces have been burned up and burned in half and had to be replaced with wires, I mean, I'm not saying I can't fix this, I certainly could. My point is, if you took your 1974 Pinto that had 1 million miles on it into the shop and they gave you a quote for close to what it would cost to buy a new car, you would probably talk to them about a trade-in, unless it was just super sentimental to you. And I don't know that this amp is. Even if I fixed it, I would probably have to get the guy to sign something saying that that there is no warranty. That's just where I'm at. This thing is pretty horrific. So I don't know. You run into some interesting stuff from time to time, and this is one of them. I can't say I've not seen worse. I have. I used to, years ago, used to work on a lot of HF amplifiers and ham radio stuff, and from time to time I would get CBers that would want to bring me a illegal linear amplifier, and so this is the kind of stuff I used to see inside of those, you know. At any rate, we're going to hit the eject button on this one, wrap up this video, and we'll just call it a lesson in what not to do, and maybe a lesson in when to walk away, because sometimes you can put half your life into something like this, or a weekend or whatever, and then you send it back to the customer, and 2 weeks later they're bringing it back to you saying, well, it's got this slight hum. Oh boy. And maybe it's this wire that's picking up some RF as your phone syncs or something, you know. It's just not well made, not worth the time, the effort, and the trouble. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll bring you another video here shortly. I'm going to leave you with this one final thought.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run.